Alrighty, guys and gals, what's going on, everybody? This is the Misty Mountain Gaming Channel. I'm Big E, and we are continuing our series on honoring the dead, in-game memorials to places, people, or things that Blizzard has put into the game. And this is the fourth part of the series. We are in Northrend, and we are in Dalaran. And the first in-game tribute we're going to see is Tabia. I'm not sure how to pronounce the name. Gonna get a lot of these wrong. But you might recognize this place. I've seen this NPC over the years. Never really knew what she was or what it was. This is Tabia, and this is her companion, Apollo. And I'm going to read what I found in-game about her. Tabia is in tribute to Tabia El Guarte, who was born in Chile and grew up in California. In 2008, she was murdered at her home in Tustin at the age of 24. Tabia had many friends at Blizzard, some of whom had known her for a long time and had seen her grow up. Her brother and best friend, Benny, also works for Blizzard. An activist for animal rights who loved dogs, Tabia adopted her first one when she was 10 and volunteered in animal shelters. Her dream was to open an animal shelter in Chile. She attended Irvine Valley College. She loved the beach, archery, and running. She was passionate about music, especially Bob Marley, and loved to sing and play in drum circles. She is remembered by all as a generous, kind-hearted person whose smile was warm and bright as the sun. She can be found in Northern Crystal Song Forest, a version of Dalaran, walking back and forth in the grassy area next to the Violet Citadel with her dog Apollo. Apollo is named after her own dog, a black and white husky, whom she rescued. He used to be a reddish hyena model, but at some point he was switched out for a wolf. Along with the model change, Apollo now randomly gets a heart floating temporarily over him with the typical love melody. Another change is more subtle. Tabia used to look straight ahead, but now her head turns slightly to whichever side Apollo is on. She is always watching over her beloved pet. There's Apollo right there. Now, I found out some information. She was actually stabbed to death by her stepson, who apparently hid in the house she was living in with her husband, waited till the husband left. And this is the real Tabia and her dog Apollo right there. And there's a lot of information here. There's her mother has a tribute site. If you come to this page up here, you can find out a lot of information. I read through a lot of it, and it's very difficult to get through. It was difficult for me. Farewell, Tabia. Our next in-game memorial is also in Dalaran, out on Krause's Landing. And I've seen this NPC before as well, but had no idea who he was, what it was about. There he is right here. It's donned with the Argent Tournament. I'm going to read what I found out. This is Jean-Pierre Poulain. He's seated on a hippogriff next to the cold weather flying trainer. Jean-Pierre is in tribute to Jean-Pierre Poulain, who worked at Blizzard headquarters in France. He passed away in his office from a heart attack in 2010. He had not previously been diagnosed with any heart issues. He was part of the in-game support team for World of Warcraft, and he is listed in the Blizzard Entertainment Europe Wrath of the Lich King manual as a member of the EU operations team. Jean-Pierre Poulain is a level 80 human who can be found in Dalaran. Players who have not yet started the Argent Tournament questline can speak to him to obtain a ride to this particular questing area. And I do have an IMDb entry. It's not much here, though. It basically just shows where he's listed. Farewell, Jean-Pierre. Our next in-game memorial is in the Blue Sky logging grounds. It's right about here in the Grizzly Hills. And the NPC we're looking for, Sinopus, which is right here. And I'm going to read what I found out about him. Sinopus is in tribute to Nathan C. Nelson, aka Ego Rager. Nate was born in 1978 and passed away from cancer in 2008, just 4 days before his 30th birthday. He was a computer program supervisor in Columbus, Ohio, who graduated from DeVry University and served in the Army National Guard. Nate was a member of Team Ego, an organization that has been around since the beginning of online gaming. Team Ego has a subsidiary RPG group called Mortis Consortium, and Nate was in the Horde Guild of the same name on the Illidan server. His WoW tunes included Berg, an Orc Hunter, and Dami. WoW was just one of many games he played with Team Ego and Mortis Consortium. He had previously used the name Sinopus in EverQuest and Star Wars Galaxy. This is from the Team Ego memorial pages. Not only was Nate's gaming and leadership skill valued by his Team Ego brothers and sisters, his knowledge as a gamer and programmer also gave insight to numerous game developers over the years. Nate spent many hours with game developers, playing games with them in beta, engaging them in in-depth conversations about theoretical, technical, and gameplay issues to assist them in in-game development. While Nate may have been one of the more influential gamers around, because of the high regard he shared with his world's foremost gaming developers, he was hardly the nerdy technical wonk some might suppose. Nate was nothing if not fun to play and chat with while gaming. While he probably understood the games he played at a level of depth not familiar to those he played with, he valued everyone's perspective and knew that the one factor common in every successful game and gamer was fun. Nate certainly knew how to have fun. He is a level 74 Alliance quest giver located in Grizzly Hills, Blue Sky logging grounds, and offers the daily quest Shredder Repair. He is a gnome because Nate enjoyed playing small characters in game, especially gnomes. Horde players going to pay their respects should take care around him. Unlike other memorial NPCs who cannot be attacked, Sinopus is flagged and will attack you. And I do have a picture here. This is the real life Nathan. There's also a video here on this page. There was for Tabia as well. Friends over the years gathered at this location and recorded tribute memorial videos, things like that. Farewell. Our next in-game memorial is here in Ice Crown. This is the Argent Tournament grounds. We're on the Horde side here. And the NPC we're looking for is right here. This is Steen Horngrass. And I'm going to read what I found here. Steen Horngrass is in tribute to Jeremy M. Steen. He was born in Pennsylvania and served for 4 years in the U.S. Air Force as a computer programmer before working as a web developer and designer for companies such as Northrend Grumman, SunGard, and Pavone. On March 14, 2009, he was traveling through Virginia and had pulled over on I-295 so he and 2 other occupants of the car could get out and retrieve a piece of fallen luggage. At that moment, a vehicle ran off the highway and struck him. While the others involved in the accident did not receive any life-threatening injuries, Jeremy was pronounced dead on the scene. He was 30 years old and he had 2 children. Jeremy had a joy for his life and was known for his sense of humor as well as his loyalty to his friends. He played WoW and also loved playing video games with his sons. He was talented in sports as well, including dodgeball, volleyball, and indoor soccer, and also enjoyed participating in poker games with his friends on Monday nights. A friend who worked for Blizzard arranged for his tribute to him as Steen Horngrass was added in patch 3.2.0, which was released in August of 2009. He is a stable master and stands at the Sunreaver Pavilion with his pet, Warp Stalker, Froggle, at his side. This leads to the inference that Jeremy played as a Tauren hunter named Horngrass and had a pet named Froggle, but no information has yet been found to confirm this. Now, there are links to his obituary and LinkedIn page, but those are no longer available. This is the real Jeremy Steen. I used to travel this road. I used to drive this road every day when I worked up there. I know that road very well. Farewell, Jeremy. Our next in-game memorial is also an Ice Crown, and this is the tournament grounds up here, so we're not too far away. You may recognize this. This is Cindergrosa's Fall, this area. And this particular area is Quel'Dalar's Rest. And I have seen this area before that we're going to, but I never knew what it was. I believe there's a quest line attached to this. There might be, but if you come up this way, I found this in game. This is the Silent Vigil. Many, many years ago, exploring, you'll come across this area here. And I remember finding this. I had no idea what it was. There's a little box here, and there's a sword and an abandoned campfire. And I'm going to read what I have found out about this. So there's normally, well, can sometimes be a body lying here. And this is where Crusader Bridenbrad is located. As you approach the Argent Tournament, you'll see a snowy opening between the mountains, which leads you to the Silent Vigil and the area where Crusader Bridenbrad is located. Crusader Bridenbrad is in tribute to Brad Bridenbecker, who became the city manager of La Habra, California in 2002. He grew up in Orange County and had a master's degree in public administration from the University of Southern California. He was diagnosed with cancer at age 31 and passed away in 2007 at the age of 35 after a 4-year battle with the disease. Brad is survived by his wife and 2 daughters and is remembered by his friends and co-workers for his capable, calm leadership. He was nicknamed Boy Wonder because of his youth and talent, and for how well he personified his favorite poem called True Gentleman. Brad was an avid WoW player, and his brother Robert is a Blizzard employee who asked Blizzard if there was anything they could do in his honor. He was given the choice of either having Brad be part of the Lich King's main storyline or giving him a quest series. Robert opted for the latter. Crusader Brad's quest chain starts with A Tale of Valor and is symbolic of his battle with cancer. So I have done this quest before. And there's a whole bunch of information about Brad. And I'm going to pull up something here. There he is here, really young guy. Whole bunch of information you can find out on him. Down here at the bottom, you can find a video on his brother who talks about early days of Warcraft and how he was involved, and it's very moving. If you care to read it, I went through all of this, and it was a little tough for me to get through. So what happens is the Naru will come and they take the body away, and that's why he's currently not lying here. Farewell, Brad. Our next in-game memorial is way over here, Caldara. It's just on this shelf, just southeast of the Transitus Shield, just the Alliance place here. And I've never seen this before. I've never seen this. It's pretty interesting. What you have here is a sketch group and a sketch team. You can see some pretty interesting pictures here. Who we're looking for is right here. They have a beautiful view here.
This had better be good.
This is Kanai Griffith. Welcome to the sketch group. Grab an easel, get comfortable. No judgments here, unless you're a paladin, of course. Today we're studying the Nexus. Such beauty, such chaos, so much blue.
Dark Lady, watch over you.
Now I'm going to read what I found out, and I'm going to warn you, this is going to be a little difficult for me to get through. I've read over a little bit of this. I get pretty emotional about stuff like this. So I'm going to do the best I can. And I'm going to read what I found. This is the real life Kevin Griffith. He's a very young guy. Kevin Kanai Griffith, also known as KKG, was a senior artist at Blizzard who passed away in October of 2014 from a rare type of cancer known as alveolar soft part sarcoma, or ASPS. He was born in 1982 and attended the Art Institutes of California in Orange County. In 2005, he began working for Blizzard, where he contributed art to World of Warcraft and Diablo III. A lifelong gamer, he was passionate about his art and one of the founders of a sketch group at Blizzard, which promoted creative outlets through drawing. He always made everyone feel welcome and included, whether or not they were an artist by profession or not. Kevin was one of a kind. This is what his wife wrote. Until this cancer hit, Kevin dreamed about being an entrepreneur and starting his own company. He loved to eat pepperoni pizza and peanut butter milkshakes. He liked to make funny noises and could beatbox a mean Zelda theme song. he would stay up marathoning TV shows or playing video games all night. He would hit the gym almost every day with coworkers and organize running groups. He DJ'd, ran sketch groups, and liked throwing parties for his friends. One year, he decided to throw a Bill and Ted-themed Halloween party and got a bunch of us to build the phone booth from the movie. Yeah, he was that kind of guy. A good friend, a loving partner, and a great artist who loves making video games. In February of 2012, Kevin had a tumor removed from his chest, and he was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer at age 29. In July of the same year, he married Connie Wang, a former Blizzard employee. By this time, more tumors had spread into both of his lungs. Given the type of cancer he had, his best option for treatment was laser-aided lung surgery by specialists in Germany. 3 days after their wedding, Kevin and Connie were in Germany, where Kevin underwent a procedure he described as basically opening up my chest and pew-pewing the tiny little tumors until they were gone. By November, over 250 tumors had been removed from his lungs. Unfortunately, this didn't keep the cancer from progressing, and over the next 2 years, Kevin and Connie fought his cancer together and documented his health journey in their blog. Kevin stayed positive throughout his whole ordeal, writing this before a surgery in Germany. Connie has been my greatest supporter during this experience, and I love her more than anything in the world. She has infused me with positivity and strength, which makes this experience much easier. I see a lot of depressed cancer patients walking around alone, and I think I might have enough positive energy to give them once I begin to recover. I can't understand most of them, but I learned a thing or two about body language communication when we visited China a couple years ago, and there are some awesome translation apps on my iPhone which I carry around. Maybe I will draw them something. Kevin was always giving back to the gaming and arts community, and now fellow game artists and friends rally to help him in return. Due to issues with his insurance companies, Kevin had to pay out of pocket for most of his procedures. A fundraiser was started. Thanks to the rapid spread of the story online, the fundraiser was a complete success and raised over $70,000, which is probably just scratches the surface of what this guy's family had to deal with. This is also what Kevin wrote. Thank you to everyone who either donated money or spread the link around. I would have never reached the goal so quickly if it wasn't for you all. I was pleasantly surprised to see that it made it on Reddit, and some of the comments totally made me laugh. The healthcare debate and the cancer troll anti-troll battles were incredible. The thoughtful comments and hugs you left me are really something special. I have a hard time keeping my tears at bay when I read the messages some of you posted. In addition, Gamers for Good was formed by his friends and colleagues and is an organization which provides charitable assistance by gamers, for gamers, and the community. 283 artists from all over the gaming industry contributed to a book called Gamer for Life, which contains fan art from Kevin's top 10 favorite games. After Kevin passed away, Gamers for Good continued production on the book as a tribute to him, with proceeds going to Game Changer, an organization that donates medical funding and games to kids with cancer, which is part of the CureASPS.org. It's the main group researching Kevin's cancer. Unfortunately, the book is not obtainable now, and it was a gift to donors during the fundraising campaign, which ended on March 18th, 2015, after raising nearly $68,000. Kanai Griffith was added in patch 6.2.0 and has the title Art Teacher. He is located in the Marine Tundra on the mountain ridge bordering Caldera and is teaching an art class. 2 other NPCs are with him, Farah and Zega, and a horse and wagon are nearby with extra canvases. Kenai Griffith will ask if anyone is up for a sketch group, a reference to the Blizzard sketch group he had helped founded. Now, there is a lot of information here. This is Kevin, and this is his wife. There's Kevin here. I did read through, if you scroll down to the bottom here on this page, there is a blog. It's a 2-year blog. Also has his last entry before he died. I believe he was 32 years old when he passed away. There's a ton of information here, and I could barely get through it. I could barely get through just this part. But I just wanted to bring some attention. And that concludes our Honoring the Dead of Northrend. Series, part 5 of the series. I'm not sure where we're going to go from here, but I think there's going to be 12 in total. So I hope you join me for those. Thanks for watching. Farewell, Kevin.